witches.
Hi, hello, and welcome back. Now you gave me the coughs.
Why'd you
I
just
coughed.
flip me off?
I didn't. I went. Now you just gave it to me.
Oh, well, it looked like you flipped me off.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
chaotic
I co-
Aquarius season.
yeah. So last last night I coughed, and it wasn't like a major cough, like as if you have obviously like a cold or something like that. It was literally just like clearing the throat. Like, do I have something in my throat, kind of thing. And I'm sitting here and Will's like sitting this way. And I just look towards my camera and I go, he looked at me, he goes, "Why did you sneeze like a child?" Or cough like a child. So then I was like,
Right, like how did you want me to cough, Squilliam?
and he's like, "Really?"
Yes,
Yeah, actually. I do it because it makes you
absolutely.
mad and I love it. I love frustrating you. It's my favorite pastime. That's how I show my love.
Speaking of chaotic Aquariuses.
Yeah, honestly though. Fucking little pixie sprite. The little things that like fuck with you just for fun. The
Yeah,
Fae.
that sounds like you.
It's fun. I don't try to be mean to you though. Well, Will always like, "You're being mean to me," and I'm like, "Am I? I'm so sorry." He goes, "I'm just kidding," and then I get mad, and then I go right back to it. Anyways, uh, okay. So we're gonna talk about Aquarius, the zodiac sign, the characteristics, the different dates, not different dates, but the dates within Aquarius, and some more like famous Aquarius celebrities. And honestly, there's quite a lot. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a lot. Yes.
No, I'm done.
Um,
I didn't realize it was coming in time to mute. Sorry, people.
Achoo. But anyways, there's 45 Aquarius celebrities.
There were quite a
So I'm
few
like,
Capricorns as well.
yeah. So I'm just gonna name a few that probably everybody knows. But anyways, so the Aquarius dates, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard that they like changed dates, like the Aquarius. I don't know, a few years ago, people changed like the Aquarius date, not Aquarius, but like zodiac dates, to where it's not
They try to
exactly the
because they
same.
shift, like, but
Yeah, but
no.
it's kind of one of those things where it's like you're not like it doesn't matter if you shift, like you were this when you were born, you don't change
Right.
zodiac because they changed it. Like you were born on the 3rd of February, you were an Aquarius regardless of what else happens outside of that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Aquarius dates start January 20th to February 18th. So if you fall within there, you are an Aquarius. That is what your rising's, not rising, that is what your sun sign is. Um, the symbol, the line one is like two squiggle lines that kind of represent flowing of water, like waves in a way, because Aquarius is the water bearer. So the constellation is actually appears to be a man holding like a, a vase, a jug of some sort with like pouring water out, which actually there is like a myth behind that. I think it's Babylonian times of that era. That's where this myth comes from. Um, the modality of Aquariuses are fixed. God, Jesus. Oh, God.
You're not a fish.
Anyways, um, the element is air. We are air signs. Probably because a lot of times when you think of Aquarius or you look at things that describe Aquarius, we're like the rebel dreamers, head in the clouds kind of people in a way. Um, it's funny though because we're fixed. So like, are we fixed on our ways? Are we? Because air kind of shut up. Uh,
Okay.
because like air is that ever changing kind of thing. Um, our ruling planets are Uranus and Saturn, which I always thought it was just Uranus, but apparently the symbol too is like Saturn sometimes. So I don't know. Whatever. We are the 11th house of the 12 zodiacs, which is always weird because I feel like Aquarius is always either named first or forgotten. And anything that I've ever seen online, half the time they don't have Aquarius. And then the other half the time we are listed like first. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? We are the 11th house. We are down at the bottom. Why don't you go in
Yeah,
order?
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, our mantra is I know. Just
Accurate.
depends on the mood. I know. I get it. I'm trying. The body part are the shins because everybody kicks us in our shins. Just kidding.
Maybe you're kicking everybody in their shins.
Well, it is pretty painful to get kicked in the shins. It's like kicking straight bone.
I mean, yes.
Um,
Hurts.
the colors are silver and blue, and our tarot card is the star. So again, the Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac. Ouch. Those born under this horoscope sign have social conscious needed, have the social conscious needed conscience needed to carry us into the new millennium. So like new age, new ideas, new thinking, progress, basically. Um, Zodiac signs that are Aquarius are humanitarians, philanthropic, and keenly interested in making the world a better place. Better place for who? Haven't decided that yet. Because as of now, it's all about the animals. Like, burn the people. I don't care. Anything I
Accurate.
watch, like, I don't care if you're half, like Teen Wolf, for instance. I cry a little bit because if I like watch sad things, but man, let me tell you, if there's an animal involved and they're not human animals, like you better be fucking nice because I swear to God. um, Along those lines, they also like to make the world work better, which is why Aquarians focus a lot of their energy on social institutions and how they work or don't work. So, a lot of Aquarians will thrive, not thrive. They probably don't thrive depending on their mental health, but they like to be involved in different things that could change or don't change. Like literally, my goal in high college was to go be a cop so I could go work for the FBI so I can try to change the government.
Dude, the FBI is recruiting teachers right now
Yeah.
because we have a lot of the like appropriate skills to be special agents. And were I not super unhealthy and also like fucking terrified of the idea of being a special agent, listen, I've watched too many crime shows. Um, I really thought about applying, but I would not be able to pass the physical fitness test.
If I were able to pass the physical fitness test, I wouldn't be able to pass the vision test. I'd have to go get my eyes corrected first. You have to be able to see like 100 yards in front of you uncorrected.
I have that.
Yeah.
I'm just fat and have asthma.
I'm both. I'm blind and
It's fine.
um
I'm not saying fat is a bad thing. I'm just fat and they would not probably like that.
you can't sprint 700
I cannot sprint.
yards
No.
in like 30 seconds. Like I
Hunting
looked
is
him
not
up
something that I
once,
do.
and the one thing that stuck with me, because everything else I could change by like training or something, but like the eyes, that just stuck with me because I was like, oh, I have to get my
Yeah.
eyes fixed, and I can't because I can't afford that. That's like $2,000 each, and that's like without lenses, without glasses. Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, cool, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Anyways, um, they are visionaries, progressive souls who love to spend the time thinking about how things can be better. They like to engage others in this process, whether it be like discussing that or actually implementing changes. And it doesn't matter who you are. Aquarians like to involve everyone, so you could be a total stranger to them, and then they will join in on it, or try to get you to join in on it, or obviously friends. Um, I have 2 mosquito bites on my leg because it warmed up and the mosquitoes came back from hell, and I'm so itchy. Um, anyways, so um, the constellation of Aquarius is actually one of the oldest of the current zodiac. Um, like I said, back to Babylonian times is when the first idea or like story of that constellation came out. Um, it is associated with the protective god Ea, who carried an overflowing vase of water. It's also kind of linked to the Egyptians as well, because they believe that Aquarius actually flooded the Nile, and it was good for them. Because they believed that when this happened, like when the Nile flooded, Aquarius had brought down the vase and like put it into the Nile to fill up with water. And because of a gigantic thing, because of physics, things have to go places. Um, it pushes in, out comes the water and floods the plains and like waters crops and all of that. So, um, and the swelling of the Nile then corresponded to the commencement of spring. So once the Nile flooded, then spring began essentially. So Aquarius is known for being it's and that's the funny thing because it's like it's cold as fuck in specific parts of the world during February. So it's just funny to think of Aquarius like starting spring.
Right.
Um, but it's a fertile time of growth uh, to the region because of it. Now in Greek mythology, I cannot pronounce that, but it was connected to a youth called uh, Ganymede. I feel like,
Ganymedes.
yeah, I feel like the Greek say every single like word, and my
Yeah.
English makes me want to omit some of those sounds. Um, but anyways, this person was the son of Tros, the Trojan king. So Ganymedes' claim to fame came from when Zeus transported him to Mount Olympus to be the cupbearer of the gods. I think I've seen this before to where like Zeus seduced this guy, this kid, and like so now this kid is like a slave to the gods, bringing them water, wine, mead, whatever it is. Um,
Oh, good.
yeah, yeah, you know,
Zeus is the
um,
worst.
yeah. And honestly, I don't know how true the like myths of Odin are true, but like I think he's also not that great either.
Yeah, I get that vibe.
But obviously we'll get more into that. But anyway, so yeah, so he took him from his home to Mount Olympus to be the slave to the gods, just so like because he was so gorgeous. Apparently, I think that's what I read. Like he was a beauty of a person, and Zeus was like, "I'm gonna take you with."
Cool.
Um, yeah, so now he's the cupbearer of the gods, and that's what it is. Um, so in the northern hemisphere, Aquarius is the season is winter. I my brain just stopped working. Like I read, I like saw what I wrote, but that was it. Um, um, So yeah, in the northern hemisphere, it is a winter month. In the southern hemisphere, obviously, it is uh, like the end of fall or like the beginning of fall kind of time. So this is the time of the year when the sun, which is Leo's planetary ruler, is at its lowest strength, heat, and light. So it's very chilly in the northern hemisphere of during the Aquarius season. Um, Aquarius is one of the four fixed signs of the zodiac, who all hold an elemental energy of endurance and stability in the middle phase of the four seasons. So Aquarius begins the middle of winter when the season is most fixed and established, leading to the tenacious, immovable, and somewhat stubborn tendencies of the formidable Aquarian intellect.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. There it is. Um, the element of Aquarius again is air, a light dispersive element, as it's just usually described. It's thought by ancient astrologers to be an expression of matter that represents formlessness and dissolution. So, Aquarius's affinity for innovation, invention, and intellect focus to the akin to the active flowing air element, because things are always progressing, always changing, improving, and all of that. And air is always moving, regardless of direction, it's always moving. Um, Now, I don't really understand rulership when it comes to like the planets. Um, so I'm not really going to get a lot into that. But I am going to talk specifically about Saturn as it like relates to Aquarius. So, um, where is it? So Aquarius was once thought to be the diurnal day home. Are you playing a game?
Mm-hmm.
What game are you playing? Because I feel like I've played that before.
Monopoly.
I knew it. I was like, why does that look like I'm grabbing money from a screen? Yeah, that's it. Um,
Oh my gosh, I just got another one.
good luck. Um, what is it? Oh, okay. Aquarius was once thought to be the diurnal or day home of Saturn. Um, an intellectual air sign that allows Saturn to be scrutinizing, discerning, and objective of a planetary force as it likes to be placed when placed there. So if you have Saturn in Aquarius at all in your birth chart, you will potentially have tremendous powers of intellectual discipline that they can apply well to study, administration, and in taking roles of social and judicial authority. I'm not good at studying because I think I have mental health issues
I
that
mean, that
people
is that is one issue.
refuse to diagnose because I'm a female. Um,
Girl.
Girl, yes. Um, but anyways, so when it comes to Saturnian matters of objectivity, perseverance, and patience, those born with the stern teacher in its day home may take these qualities naturally. They do have something here about like the detriment of the sun. I don't understand that, to be honest. I don't really understand what detriment means in terms of this.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna cover it. But if you want to, you can go to astrology.com because this is where I got all my shit. Um, but anyways, the modern ruler, the actual planetary ruler that I knew of was is Uranus. Um, is actually discovered in 1781, so Uranus is still a relatively young planet that has been known to man. Obviously, it's not young, but
Right.
um, it was actually built by William Herschel, who built his own telescope, so that's pretty cool. Uh, ouch. This quality of discovery and inventiveness in Uranus's founder is lends itself to the Aquarian attributes of innovation, adaptation, and unconventionality. Conventionality, yeah. It is also that at the time of Uranus's discovery, the American Revolution was being waged, and the French Revolution would ensue within the years to come. These synchronicities inspired modern astrologers to give Uranus revolutionary characteristics since it appeared during these new political and societal upheavals. So that's where Aquarius gets the rebellion like thing. Um, and that's why Uranus was assigned as the eccentric subruler to the objective water bearer. Yay.
All right.
Let's see. So, some personality for Aquarius is some archetypal traits are derived from its active masculine and yang qualities, which makes this sign oriented towards engagement with the outer world. Um, those both Aquarian women and Aquarian men born as with their rising sun sign or moon sign have a clear objective yet intelligent and innovative or inventive energy in their core personality, like the icy heart of winter. Here's the thing: it is not my moon sign, but it is definitely my rising sign. Actually, I think I have Aquarius three or four times in my birth chart. But yeah,
All right.
so we are known we are known as the reformers of the Zodiac that challenge and test the societal conventions that have been built up um, to see if they are actually still relevant and inclusive. And if they are not, then they attempt to fight against that. They have a high intelligence and their ability to not be mirrored in subjectivity that could be potentially like put a block on them from maintaining that fresh perspective. Those born under the sign have an affinity for abstract thought that allows them to examine problems and innovative new solutions. So it's that thinking outside the box thing. Um, Though Aquarians are conversational and most of the time social, they can operate in their communities in an observant and impartial way, making them typically good judges of character and dependable when rationality is needed. Now, I'm not saying that they can't like read the aura, read like the room kind of thing, but like within the first few sentences of seeing somebody and like seeing their words versus how they act is how Aquarians work, which actually I agree with because I feel like you could say all these pretty little things, but there is just something about you that I just don't trust. And then boom, it hits. And I'm just like, there it is. Absolutely do not like you. It's like a switch, like immediately
Like, I knew I
switch.
didn't like you, but now I know why I didn't like you.
Right. And I'm not like saying, I don't know, I'm not the vibe checker of the store. I am the basically the first person that goes and interviews all these people. I'm always like the first interviewee. And then I come back and say, like, I don't know. These are my like worries. These are my thoughts on it. I don't know. I mean, maybe. And then no one else goes in there. And then it's like the person's shit. And somebody who works right under me that like we need to obviously like work on giving the interview with, she's the vibe checker. She goes in there and she's like, vibes off. I don't like it. And it's true.
No, immediately no.
And yeah. Um every single person we've hired, she's always like, is it me or do I just not like them? And nope, no one likes them. That is it. There's one person with a good vibe, but they never showed up to work, so that was a dud too. So that was on our like that was a fault in our thing, but whatever. Anyways, Aquarians are known for their cleverness and dry wit. which may be surprising in spite of their cool and collected exterior. Oh, that's false. I don't have a cool collected exterior. I have an anxiety ridden exterior.
I feel like you do. You're like what you present to the world, I feel like is
Oh,
like a straight calm face.
especially when someone's yelling at me for something I didn't do and something I can't control.
Right. Like
Hey
not
man,
necessarily with me or with Will or with like your friends, but with the outside world. I
there
feel
was
like you do
somebody
have
there was somebody that got so mad because we didn't have an item in stock. So what happens is we get a list of things that we're supposed to get on like our inventory truck days, and sometimes they don't send it to us. And when we do product shoots, we scan empty holes or whatever, and then if they're not there, we check and see when we were supposed to have received it, and then that's it. We like take it out of the system if it's still not there. That's exactly what happened. I was picking orders. I checked the inventory on something and it said we got it like the day before. At that point, we had already done all boxes that needed to go out. All product was worked. Everything was worked. There was no overstock. There was no top stock, nothing. We had done everything and it just still wasn't there. So I had to cancel that order and take it out of the system, which is what I did. I got a phone call probably like 3 or 4 hours later from an angry person saying that she's upset. She never received an email that her order was canceled. She doesn't understand why it was canceled. And I just explained, like, I'm sorry, like, we never received it with our inventory. Like, it's out of stock. We don't have any extra. It said we were supposed to get one. We didn't even get it. And she was mad. She was like, well, I'm going to put a complaint out because you never sent me. And I told her I was the one who actually was working that order. It didn't matter. She was going to call in a complaint to the store because we personally never sent her a cancellation email, despite me saying I don't have control over what gets sent to you. I can give you customer service number and they could look into your account to see if maybe there is like a discrepancy or an accident with your email that led up to you not getting the cancellation
right.
thing. I apologize. You drove almost 45 minutes to find out it was canceled. Like, I apologize for that. I don't control this. However, this is like what I can do for you. And it didn't matter. She still wanted to make a complaint. And I was like, okay, like, I sincerely apologize. And then she hung up on me. That's when I got pissed. I was like, okay,
Right.
just so you know, I also handle all complaints of the store. So when you make that complaint, I will be calling you back and I will be like, per my earlier conversation with you,
Yeah, right?
this is out of my fucking control. But
People are
sometimes
the
we have,
worst.
right? And sometimes we have people that are really good at like that work at the customer service line that like will make the complaint but not send it to the store so that it doesn't hurt our scores. And then they just sit there and like, hey, this complaint was made because of these reasons. I'm sending it to the correct people. I'm not sending it to the store because like it's not their fault. And then they'll tell the customer the exact same thing that I fucking said. And I'm like, you're literally not getting the product you want. Like, sorry.
There's
I
nothing we
even
can do
told her
about
like I
it.
could check stock at other stores. She didn't care. She just wanted that complaint to be made. So whatever. But anyways, I was sitting there like, okay, I I don't I'm not in IT. I don't do that. Sorry. Um so fuck you. You go about your
Bye.
happy you go about your happy day. Anyways, water bearers are naturally curious and inquisitive. People who like to take objects apart as well as personalities to see what makes them tick. They're very hands on and they are very determined. Um, they are not afraid to take intellectual or creative risks or to speak the sober but unpopular opinion. Nothing lost, nothing gained could be another water bearer motto. And you know, a lot of people actually really hate that. Not that I know things, but I Google stuff. If I'm watching a TV show and I'm curious about the actor or the actress, I Google about them, and then I know like information about them, like fun facts. I actually had a friend who absolutely hated that. They were like, just because you like make a comment about it doesn't mean you know everything about it. And I was like, I didn't say I knew everything about it. I just said I actually read up on this, and
That
this
sounds
is
like
what
a
I
fun
found out.
person.
You know who they are. It was a July tripper.
I figured.
Yeah. And I was like, that's just what I do. Like, I enjoy reading stuff. Like, you're an Aquarius too. What do you mean? You do the exact same thing. But people think or call me a know it all. And it's like, I just like knowing things. Because once upon a time, I didn't know anything, and I was more embarrassed of not knowing things than I am being embarrassed of knowing things. So,
Right?
okay, I'll take one trauma that's lesser over the other. Damn. Anyways, they're also very radical. They don't fit in with mainstream society, and they often don't want to. They like to go to the flow of their own thing, much like how water flows and how air is ever changing. Um, but there are a lot of Aquarian inventors and a lot of thought um, leaders. So Aquariuses are known to be that new innovation that the world may or may not need. Now, those are some strengths, but let's talk about the weaknesses because everyone's got weaknesses and we shouldn't be ashamed of them. Um, but because of their intellectual ability to do various things or research various things, it makes them seem very cold, distant, or even unfeeling. Um, they may have situations where they just can't think their way out of. They can't think of a good like idea, and it's very perplexing to them because I guess it's not normal for that, and it makes them. I don't want to say like annoyed or anything, but it makes them very short. So like that distance. Um, Now, Aquarians think of life as a long, big puzzle. So each piece they can break down into smaller pieces to think of different whatever, which is probably why compartmentalizing, I think that's how it is, um, aspects of your life works for an Aquarius. I mean, it works for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I think like if I focus on one thing and then everything else kind of goes on the back burner, then I can close this door and open up another one and like put my focus on that. Um, because they are fixed, because their mode is fixed, they become very fixed on their principles, and it's very hard for them to uh, deviate from that. So they set many strict social boundaries and are known to even hold grudges, and can alienate others. And also, while alienating others, isolating yourself. And I'm like, you know what? I've done that a time or two.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to say this because Will's gonna lose his fucking mind, but he, one of them here is, though curious, the sign should guard against becoming nosy and similar to their Gemini counterparts, which is funny because Gemini is my moon sign. Because they could have a need to be gossipy and they would need to stop that habit. Um, Though Aquarius may be cool and measured in their own feelings, they could forget that they might be hurtful to others. I feel called out. Um, so, because of all of this, and the Aquarius's contrarian nature, it's best channeled into important and useful causes to guard against a habit of being rebellious and disruptive, just for the sake of it. So, this can be hurtful and divisive if not well considered. So, pick and choose your battles, basically. Um, Aquarius children could grow up becoming the outsider, um, but they are going to be well. nurtured and accepted from their different nature, as well as allowed to experiment and express themselves in their own unique way if they have a growing foundation to do that in. Um, I was gonna do like what's their best like jobs basically,
Yeah.
but I like lost what I did. Oh, okay, here we go. Um, this is funny. Okay. Um, if their intellect is not challenged or is underutilized, it would the job would be very boring to them and it will be a waste of their potential. So this could manifest in many professions, but likely will not be found in salesmen or service type roles. Where they have to project a persona that they are not feeling. So I could fake my way through it, even though I feel dead inside. Thank you. Um, so if any job that is kind of outdated, any job would be like a prison, which I actually have mentioned that where I just feel like I'm like encaged and I'm in a prison and I don't like that. So they have to have jobs that are very progressive in a way. So they need novelty, activity, movement, and space, and will not be content for a long time in the same location. So a laboratory, as contrary to what I just read, makes it seem laboratory would be a great place. I know you don't really move. There's not a lot of things, but you discover things in there, and apparently that is great for Aquarians. Um, they also think that administrative roles, like social workers for the front line or the administrative roles, those would be good for them because it is part of like that social injustice thing that they got to work on, which is funny because I also was a social worker. So that's great. Um, they would also make excellent teachers and educators, which is great too because I also worked in a school. Look at that. I'm running
Oh
out of
yeah.
positions for this job. Um, let's see. Basically, they just they're good in science ones. Uh, so like anything of like the nature variety that would be good because there's always things to discover. And actually, as a child, I wanted to be not an astrologer, but I wanted to be an astronomer. I wanted to study stars and planets and like why they do the things that they do, and I thought that would be so cool. And then I changed, and I was like, I want to be a marine biologist. Didn't do that. Then I was like, cool, social justice because fuck the government. Oh, look at that. I'm out of that. Let's go be start at the bottom and work our way up. Let's go make the world a better place. Fucking hated that too. Because I have no hope for this world. Um,
Same.
Psychology is also a position for Aquariuses. Yay. Or you could just go off the beaten path and be like a sound engineer and like do whatever sound that calls to you, like not conform to like the pop genre. You could just do whatever the fuck you feel like it. So there's just some jobs for those Aquarians out there. Um, so for Aquarius compatibility, Aquarians enjoy being with the fire signs. Like they understand each other's active, spontaneous nature. So like Aries will, Sagittarius, um,
No wonder he likes to
and
argue so much.
because I argue back,
Well, and just being an Aries in general, like
right? He makes you think outside the box. There's got to be an Aquarius in his chart somewhere. Um, but he doesn't care like an Aquarius would though. Like he does, like he like brings he tells you about it. Like, he's like, yeah, I know this is a problem, like, whatever, like, I think this would be a better way of doing it. So, like, he's got like that innovativeness, but then when you actually like go to implement it, he goes, I don't care that much. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Excuse me.
Right. Also Leo. Leo is one of those signs. No wonder I'm such good friends with Chloe. Air signs, so like Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. They are a natural fit as they share the same elemental with everyone else. Um, Kind of sharing the same ideas and like the intellectual relationship. But um, like Aquarius and Libra, Aquarius might be more aloof and not as romantic as Libra would want them to be. Um, Aquarius and Aquarius could have that unconventional partnership, but I feel like that like love compatibility wouldn't be there. Um, and Gemini is actually like a top tier match for Aquarius because they have pretty much a lot of things in common. But if there is no intellectual relationship there, then there is no foundation. And that's the biggest downfall between those two, like in a relationship of some sort. Um, Water signs are very vulnerable and have emotional intelligence. So that helps the curious and abstract Aquarius to tap into their deeper well of feelings, which is good for Aquariuses since they are coming off like aloof and all that. Earth signs can stabilize and ground Aquarius dispersive and unusual energy. However, you're going to have a lot more attention with the Earth signs because um, they require like stability and all of that. And Aquarius is just like do 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 do, like off in the air doing whatever. Let me tell you about a Taurus, though. Okay, I'm gonna do with a Taurus. Although dependable and loving, they may be a bit too rooted to roll with Aquarius's out there ways. Both are in fixed signs, and much like the dynamic between Aquarius and Scorpio, they will be stubborn standoffs between the water bearer and the bull. So there
Interesting.
you go. Yeah. And I know you talked a lot about like Aquarius or not Aquarius self, but like herbal allies, so like different things that would be good for them. I'm not going to go into them because I only said this was going to be 30 minutes and it's now 45 minutes. I just forgot how much information there was.
There's so much.
I know. And I was like, no, it's going to be 30 minutes. Like I talked fast and here we are. Um Anyways, so you have um comfrey, horsetail, and rosemary. So those are three things that are excellent for the Aquarians. Um Aquarius rolls over shins, calves, and ankles. So you could, if any of these come in like an oiled, you can always like rub it on those specific areas to like acknowledge your Aquarius things. Honestly, you could probably do that regardless of your zodiac sign. You could be like, oh man, my hips hurt. Like, let me rub some of the herbal things on my hips in honor of the ruling zodiac of that. Like, like just be
Yeah.
a little bit more cohesive with your body. Um, what is it? So the three deacons of Aquarius are Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. Um, so planets within the first deacon are more artistic and relational than the typical cool Aquarian archetype. Those born with planets or points here may be more creative, romantic, and performative of all the water bearers. And I think that's because not because of anything. I think Venus is my first deacon. I don't know. I need to get it done. Let's be real. Mercury, very strong analytical and intellectual tendencies to those with prominent placements. So you may see the scientists, innovators, and engineers amongst that location. And then Moon is the third one. So there, it's ruled by the mysterious and nurturing Moon, whose influence can amplify the emotions, making these folks more sensitive, receptive, and even psychic. It could even take form in those born with placements in the third decan as being more remote and protective of their emotions. Um, there's a lot of tarot cards in Aquarius, but I'm just going to do the major one, which is the star. Um, what is it? Mm, not really understanding what I just read. I don't understand what I typed. What? Oh, basically anything that like the star is pouring out, it's nourishing and balancing elsewhere. So it appears as if like you're jumping all your water out, but you're actually like nourishing everything around you. And apparently that's what Aquarius does. Whatever. um but yeah, that's really all I had for Aquarius. Some famous Aquarians are Oprah Winfrey, Justin Timberlake, Harry Styles, The Weeknd, Christian Bale, Tom Hiddleston, Kelly Rowland, Brandy Norwood. She's Brandy, the musical artist. Shakira, Jennifer Aniston, Ellen DeGeneres, Christian Ronaldo. I don't really care about him though. Kerry Washington, Michael B. Jordan. I am gonna butcher this. Yara Shahidi,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock, Alicia Keys, Michael Jordan, Ed Sheeran, Ashton Kutcher, Paris Hilton, Emma Roberts, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, I love him. And John Travolta. There's a lot more. Those are just like when you Google famous Aquarians, that's what pops up. So yeah,
Nice.
none of them are as close to like none of them that I found have my birthday. My birthday's the 3rd, which is actually when the episode debuts. Um, I guess the closest one would be Harry Styles, whose birthday is February 1st. Harry, what's your star sign? What's your birth chart? Are we the same? I don't know. When was he born? 94. Oh, he's a year younger than me. All right.
Hmm.
Anyways,
All right.
yes, under an hour, but a little over 30.
Nice. Good job.
Thanks. I tried. You know, you asked me a question the other day and I never fucking answered you. So I'm going to answer you right now. So she sent me a TikTok that was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, she sent me a TikTok that was like, which one am I? Like, why do I want to know this? And I was like, bet, I'm going to tell you. So as I was flipping through that, the one that like I flipped through all of them and I just kept going back to this one. There was a secondary one. I was like, this could be it. No, I think you are the golden hour. I don't know, something about you just gives me like the vibrancy, like the orange golden vibrancy. Maybe it's your red hair, I don't know, but like I just feel like you are the golden hour, like you embody that time. Like if things are shitty, even if things are shitty for you or whatever, like you still do maybe one or two things that like just show that you can't like that you are the good person despite everything. Like I don't know, I just feel like you're the golden hour.
It's been really interesting to hear the different people, like the different things that different people said, because I sent that to a lot of people. Um, and the people that I work with consistently said starlight with a little bit of aurora borealis
Yeah.
because I'm a light in the dark and all these different things that they said. And I was like, that's super cute. And then Brittany was like lightning 100%. Um, hold on. I have to pull back up what she said.
I
Because everybody said
also
like super cute little things about it. And I was like, oh,
I also think you could be like the sunbeams. Like, even if it's just like a bright day, you just kind of like show yourself in little ways. And like, that's what sunbeams do. And I just love that. So, but like golden hour, secondary sunbeams.
Um, Brittany said, these are what Brittany sent me exactly because I thought it was super sweet and very spot on. She said, "You're definitely lightning. You're reserved but fierce when you need to be. You take a while to charge, but when you're on, it's all eyes on you. Your humor is dark and it makes people laugh, but it scares them at the same time."
Love that.
And when I looked at it, I thought lightning. So like it just was like super I don't know. It was interesting that Brittany said lightning because that's
Yeah.
what I thought when I saw it. But I definitely think that you are Starlight.
I have an entire dress that looks like starlight.
Dark and magical and Night Court and Slytherin and just Starlight.
I
100%.
love me a good night court and a good Slytherin.
Yeah.
Honestly, ever since I was a kid, like I felt more at peace at night than I have ever felt during the day.
Yeah, I'm
I
the
would
opposite. I
honestly
am
like if the world wasn't so fucked up, I'd probably go on more night walks.
right.
I would love to
I
go to the beach and just
literally
look at the sky.
if it's oh yeah. Literally if it's storming and there's lightning, I either have the window open and I'm sitting close by or I will go outside and like it just recharges me.
You
Like
good old
storms
Midwesterner, you.
and lightning. Yeah. Well, okay. Now, have we told you the story of my mom's wedding? Brittany thought we were all
Yeah.
fucking insane. Yeah, there were like literal funnel clouds in the sky and everybody's just chilling outside. Brittany was like, "Should we
Yeah.
go like maybe in the house, find a blanket to cover up with? Like what are you all
No.
doing?" And I was like,
We're
"No, this is what we do out
Midwesterners.
here in
This
the
is how we
country."
do. Ain't got nothing else but to watch the storms on your
Right.
porch.
So,
That's
anywho,
how the that's the wrath of the good God that'll take you out of here.
bleh, my bad. I'm all right. All right.
Don't lie though. Like you know that's true.
That is very accurate.
But anyways, all right. Until next time.
Bye.